The Flo Jo Drug Allegations Controversy Explained. Welcome back to the channel, people. Welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, thank you for making it Peter Lloyd World. Now go ahead, please hit that subscribe button so we can continue to grow. When you do that, go ahead and hit the notification bell so you know when the next video drops. We drop a video at least once a day here on Peter Lloyd World. Also, if you enjoyed the content, please hit that like button. And finally, leave your thoughts. After this, sports analysis where we take a look at and we break down the races. So, when you're ready, yep, good to go. The drug allegations of Florence Griffith Joyner, better known as Flo Jo, has existed for pretty much 34 years and persist. The remarkable athlete broke the women's 100 meters and 200 meters world record in 1988. In the 100 meters, she ran 10.49, and in the 200 meters, an astounding 21.34. But this video is not about us telling you whether or not she actually took those drugs, because guess what? There's absolutely, literally no definitive proof, meaning no proof that we could take into court that can prove that she did or she did not. And I would like to err on the side of, righteous, innocent until proven guilty. What we are going to look at is, where did this controversy come from? She's not the first person to break a world record. She probably won't be the last. Why is it that these two world records led to this level of controversy, and why is it that they still exist after 34 years? So quickly, here is the backstory. Florence Dolores Griffith was born on December the 21st, 1959. She's an American of African descent, and of course she broke world records in 1988. She became a popular figure both for breaking the world record and her eclectic style of dressing. Michael Johnson immediately questioned Toby Amusan's 12.12 women's 100-meter hurdles world record this year at the World Championships, but didn't question Sydney McLaughlin's equally astounding, if not more astounding, 50.68 400 meters world record. Why is that?
As of February the 22nd, 1989, I have retired as an athlete instructor.
The thing about all conspiracy theories is that you need a catalyst, and I believe the moment she retired, just 1 year into glory, meaning Flo Jo, tongues were going to wag. But then there were other factors, weren't there? The former Olympic 200-meter champion Gwen Torrance said regarding Flo Jo's world records, she said she did not acknowledge those records. She also said to me, they don't exist, and women sprinters are suffering as a result of what she did to the times in the 100 and 200 meters. This according to a James Montage CNN report in August of 2012. In fact, athletes such as Ben Johnson and Joachim Cruz at the Olympic Games in Seoul in 1988 both expressed disbelief over Florence Griffith Joyner's dramatic improvement in such a short period of time. In fact, before the 1988 track and field season, her best time in the 100-meter sprint was 10.96 seconds, set in 1987, and in 1988 she improved that by 0.47 seconds, which is an astounding improvement. Her best before 1988 in the 200 meters happened to have been 21.96. This she set in 1987. In 1988, she improved that by an astounding 0.62 seconds to run that remarkable 21.34 seconds. So, I can understand why a lot of people would immediately question this kind of improvement in an athlete in a 1 or 2 year period. It's astounding. However, this dramatic improvement was explained away by both Al Joyner and Bob Kersey by stating that they changed her training regimen and made her start concentrating on building muscle in her lower body, particularly with lunges and squats. I don't know. And of course, there were other accusations. In an episode that aired on Nationwide in 2011, Victor Conti he suggested that in the 1988 race, one athlete was found positive, and as a result of the positive test, suddenly retired. Listen.
That there were other positives there as well. And I choose not to name names, but others that I were told that did test positive during the same time frame retired at the height of their economic earning capacity and performance.
But there were even more allegations, believe it or not. Daryl Robinson, a former teammate of Flo Jo, claimed that he sold her 10 milligrams of growth hormone for $2,000 in 1988. He went on to state that Joyner told him, in quotes, she said, "If you want to make $1 million, you've got to invest some thousands." Now, these are claims by Robinson, and the fact is, he never provided any evidence for these allegations, and was also paid $25,000 US, which was a lot of money at that time in the early 1990s, I think, for this interview. Of course, he was subsequently shunned by athletes globally.
And I knew that I have never taken drugs, so I didn't let that bother me what people said. I knew that it was
She also explained away in an interview her sudden decision to retire.
I retired in 1989 because I could no longer train 100% in which I'm used to training.
In the same interview, she went on to state that she was just traveling too much and had no time to fully train. She also stated that she had gotten a clothing line deal in Japan, which is one of her other passions. Now look, people, there are other athletes from the 1980s who have, let's say, questionable world records that just have not been broken. In fact, Marita Koch in 1985 ran the women's 400 meters in 47.60, a time that no one has even come close to up until this point. And to go further, the 1983 record set by Jarmila Kratochvilova, a 32-year-old, and considered previously mediocre world record 800-meter runner, ran an astounding 1 minutes 53.28 seconds, which is the longest held. She did this in 1983. It's the longest held running record I know of in the world. But no one talks about these records as much as they talk about Flo Jo's. And why is that? In fact, I should state that the closest anyone has come to Koch's 400-meter world record is this young lady who had the 800-meter world record. So again, why is it that no one talks about this fact? Why is it no one talks about it? Now, I'm going to say a few things that may be a little controversial. Could it be that one of the reasons why there is a consistent, questioning of Flo Jo, apart from the obvious, could one of the reasons be the fact that she's of African descent? I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just throwing this out here, people. Now, in terms of Flo Jo's the facts are, as far as we know, there is no proof that she's ever taken, no proof. I mean, there's a lot of unsubstantiated innuendos, etc., but nothing that you could take into a court of law. So the truth is, we have to state that, as far as we know, she didn't take drugs. What I'm saying is, there's a lot of credible reasons why people ask these questions. Like, and let's point them out very, very quickly. One, athletes that she knew and ran alongside, many questioned her world records. Two, several persons of prominence came out and questioned her world record. But all of this is just innuendo. There's absolutely no corroborating facts to this. I mean, I've done a lot of research on this, people. It doesn't exist. The controversy was so bad that even when she passed, Jaris her soul, there was still controversy. On September the 21st, 1998, Florence Griffith Joyner died in her sleep at home in the Canyon Crest neighborhood of California at the age of 38. The unexpected death was investigated by the Orange County Sheriff Coroner's Office, which announced on September the 22nd that the cause of death was suffocation during a severe epileptic seizure. Her husband had stated that a few weeks prior to that, she had had another seizure. They took her to the hospital, but they couldn't find anything. Now, what was even stranger is that the World Anti-Doping Agency in an attempt to allay these concerns regarding doping allegations against her, said that they had continuously, this was Prince Alexander de Merode, chairman of the International Olympic Committee's Medical Commission, said they had continuously and in fact more rigorously tested this athlete, meaning Flo Jo, more than almost any other athlete. So this of course is my 2 cents. The fact of the matter is there are so many issues regarding Florence Griffith Joyner and these allegations, which is why this persists. It's like any great conspiracy theory. The fact is there's no definitive proof that she has or has never taken drugs. It just doesn't exist. So what we are left with is many innuendos, which could have come from other athletes who were jealous, let's be honest. The fact that this persists when there are other athletes who also have questionable world records, but it could also be because she's of African descent. I'm just throwing that in, it's a possibility. There's also the fact that after just 1 year of glory, she resigned. Who does that when you're about to make all this money and paper? Her excuse, of course, her explanation was that she had gotten an opportunity and she couldn't turn that opportunity down. This is a really tough one, people. As I said at the very beginning, the moment Toby Amerson did what was seemingly impossible, Michael Johnson questioned it. It could simply have been that no one anticipated this from this young lady. Her previous best had been 10.96. To go from 10.96 to 10.49 is an astounding improvement. Her previous best was 21.96, and then to suddenly run 21.34 is also astounding. But we were also told that throughout that entire season, she was running 10.50s, 10.50s, and 10.56s consistently. So yes, this one, there's a lot of questions to it. But definitively, we understand why these questions persist and will forever persist, because let's face it, there will never be an answer to these questions because the young lady is no longer here, there is her soul, and we can never corroborate these allegations. And if they are true, how are we going to prove them? So we think the primary reason why this continues is simply because it has developed its own legs, and it will simply keep going like any other great conspiracy theory. But this, of course, is my 2 cents and our explanation for why this persists. We'd love to hear your thoughts. Now, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, hit the like button. Remember, you are royals, kings and queens. Bless up!